Hey guys, what's up? Valley Flying here. I'm back. Welcome. Next video. And before we get into it, let's just look at this announcement. I want you guys to tell me what you think it means. Infinity War. Thanos is coming. What do you think this means? You think he's gonna be a playable character that we could use? You think he's a non-playable boss type character that unlocks someone else or unlocks some other kind of mission? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And let's get into the video. This one I am talking about the top 10 blaster characters in the whole class. So I'm going to go through these. These are the guys right here. Now, how did I determine this list? Well, it's based off some of their stats, some of their base stats. And what I did was go to msf.gg and use their base level 10 gear stats. So I think that's close. If it's not the max, it's close to the max at this point in the game. These all could change later, but I use that. And then just my experience of playing with these characters, playing against these characters, seeing who is the biggest threats when I'm facing them, if I'm worried about them, and then looking at their kits as well. So some of these characters I played with, some of them I haven't. Let's get into the list and let's talk about some dishonorable mentions. So these are the characters that I don't like. S.H.I.E.L.D. Trooper. S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. There's better options if you're going for a S.H.I.E.L.D. team to get Iron Man. And then this Mercenary Soldier. This is a character that most people get in the beginning of the game. But if you look at their damage is some of the lowest, the lowest in the entire blaster category. And in my mind, what makes a good blaster is someone that could do a lot of damage. And I just don't think that these guys do enough damage to be strong blasters. They don't have a lot of uniqueness in their kits. So let's move on. Let's move on to our honorable mention. And the first guy I want to mention is this guy. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of support around him. Aim kind of sucks right now, but he is one of the faster characters in the game. Decent damage. His health's kind of low, but his speed could go up with that hyperdose ability. Maybe down the road he'll be someone really, really special. This guy right here, Hydra Rifle Trooper. He has low health, okay damage. His speed he's kind of slow. His kit's not too unique, but he can fit into a Hydra team. We also got Kree Cyborg. I haven't unlocked him yet. He's honorable mention. The reason I like him, he's got a lot of health. He's one of the highest health characters in the blaster category. His damage is okay. He gives energy with his basic. Now this is only level 1, but you know, even at level 1, 50% chance to grant ability energy. I think it goes up to 70% once it's maxed out, but this is a character worth mentioning. Kree is kind of in a weird state right now, but once people start unlocking Ultimus and then they get Karath and Ronin, maybe that class, maybe if they give Ronin a rework, that Kree class will be solid. Ravager Boomer, I don't have him unlocked yet, but I have played with him a lot because this is one of the characters that Yondu summons. Strong attack. He's pretty fast. He's got some decent health, decent character. And then the last one, Hydra Grenadier. Most health of the blaster category. Health, obviously, is not the most important thing, but he does have that to get that survivability. And he does some decent damage as well. His kit does a lot of adjacent attacks, so he's attacking other people. So those are the honorable mention and the dishonorable mentions. Let's get into the top list. The first guy I want to mention is this guy, number 10, Mercenary Sniper. So what is good about him? Well, his damage is pretty good. His health is really low, which is kind of to be expected with these blasters, but his kit is decent. He has a chance. Let's actually go over to msf.gg and take a look at his kit. Mercenary Sniper. He can attack, you know, does about 200 to 208% damage depending what skill. He gets a little bit more damage, so the damage numbers that you see at the gear level will go up a little bit. He's a decent character. Nothing too special, but well, that's it. His speed, he's kind of slow. as is the next guy. Coming in at number 9 is Hydra Sniper. So this guy has some low health. His damage is on the lower end of the blaster category. His speed is slow. What I like about him is this second skill. Let's go over back to MSF.GG. And this is the Hydra Sniper. So in MSF.GG, he attacks the primary. Decent. Now this is what I like, because he has an attack, but he also has this buff. He gets himself a buff. He applies offense up to 2 allies at level 5, and he gets speed up to himself. So he gets faster, and then he gets a little extra damage. So I like this character. He is a little squishy, so I wouldn't recommend going in without a tank or some kind of plan to protect him, but decent. He comes in on my list at number 9. Now let's move on to the next character on the list. That at number 8 is this guy, the Hand Archer. Now, what is good about him? Because if you look at his base stats, Hand Archer, very low in health. His damage is not very high. So why is he so good? Well, let's look at his kit. Let's go back to MSF.GG again. He does pretty low damage here. But it's an all attack, and it clears a positive effect off of each enemy. So you're removing buffs, possibly removing a taunt to get around that. I like it. Now, if you go up to level 3 on this one, let's look at this passive. He gains accuracy, and he gains damage. So his damage is getting a little better with this, but this is where he really does well. When you have more hand allies on the team, you get 5% damage. Now, if you have Nobu that's done summon a few times, he gets 2 on the first summon, he gets 2 on the next summon. That's 4 extra guys. That's 20% damage with just the summons. You take into additional 4 from the rest of the hand team if he's in a hand team. You're getting, what is that, 40% extra damage for him. So he could have a lot of damage. So let's actually move this back up to level 5 on these. It's decent damage right here. He has some piercing. This damage is still low, but the reason I have him rated where he's at is because of this positive effect that he's clearing off the enemies. Let's get to the next guy. Now, those are all the minions. Now we're getting some normal characters, and I think by default this guy fits in at number 7 because he's a little better than minions, but he's not as good as some of the other characters that are in this class, and that is the Punisher. So the Punisher has some good damage. He's kind of slow. His health is pretty low. Let's look at his kit. Let's go into MSF.GG and take a look at his kit. These are 5, 5, 5, and 3. His damage doesn't ramp up a lot with his attacks. I think they need to shift some of these numbers to make him a little more viable. He buffs city allies. He gets a little extra damage, and his damage is already high, but his kit, these numbers are so low. He gets a little extra damage for villains as well, but it's still pretty low. Not very exciting. He has some piercing. He has all enemy attack. He's an okay character. If you're putting him in a city team with the rest of the defenders, with Luke, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, he has some viability. He's okay, but not one of the top characters in the game. So let's go back and take a look, finish up this countdown. Now, number 4, number 5, and number 6. I wasn't sure where to place these guys. I ended up putting this next guy at number 6, and number 6 is Bullseye. So I don't have him unlocked yet. I wasn't very impressed by his kit when I first started the game. I never really farmed him. Let's go to MSF.GG and take a look at his kit. Let's close out Punisher here. Here's Bullseye. 5, 5, 5, 3. This is a big, huge attack. His third skill, Kill Shot. Attacked primary target, 460% damage. Gets crit chance. Gets crit damage for this attack, so it could go even higher. He is a decent character. Gets some accuracy. All allies gain extra accuracy, and mercenary allies gain more crit damage. So he's got those crits. So if you're critting with Bullseye, he's doing a lot of damage, single target damage, and you know he's okay. He's not rated super low. He's not one of the best characters in the game. His speed is okay, and he does some decent damage, but he's pretty squishy. You need to bring in a protector for him, and yeah, he's got a decent kit. It's all about damage, though. There's nothing really special that's going on with what he's doing. Now, these next two guys, I really had a hard time determining who would I rate number 4 and who would I rate number 5. I ended up putting this guy at number 5. Coming in at number 5 is Karath, the Pursuer. Now, why is he rated 5? Well, I actually like his kit. I think his kit is better than the next guy's. He's pretty fast. He's got some good health. His damage is not as high, but let's go into MSF.GG, take a look at his kit. Let's close out Bullseye right here. Here is Karath, and if you look at this, his passive, when an enemy dies, he gets speed up for 1 turn. That's at level 3. When he starts the battle, 50% chance to gain speed up for a turn. If you go to level 4, though, anytime someone dies or whenever he starts a battle, he's getting speed up. So he's already pretty fast. He's already in the top 10 of speed of all the characters in the game, and he's getting even faster with this. Then you could hit the tank with this, or you could hit someone that you want to kill. I'll probably use this skill first to apply taunt to someone that you want to kill. Let's say they have a Hulk and a Luke Cage, and they have a Quake. Hulk, Luke Cage, not really a big threat. Then you got Quake there, big threat. You hit her with this. Apply taunt for 1 turn. Doesn't matter if Luke Cage or Hulk taunts. You're going to be able to hit that target. So this is a solid one, especially if he's already fast and you're gaining speed up on spawn. Not going to get this till level 4. You'll have a 50% chance at level 3 and with this passive, but he can be pretty fast and just lock down enemies so that you could take out a target. And then you use this takedown charge, which starts on 5 energy. So you're going to be able to use this right off the bat. This is a tank killer right here. You get a huge damage. You block their healing for 2 turns. I've mentioned this before. I hate when I face this skill, especially in the raids. When you have to face Karath in the raids and he hits your tank with a heal block, you can't do anything about it except for either remove it or just wait till it's done. Also, 30% chance to apply ability block. So, if you get lucky, you're gaining jeez, I can't even talk. All right, if you get lucky, you're hitting someone, you're getting taunt to their big threat, and then you hit their tank with this move. Because he's pretty fast, he might be going before the tank even goes. You get heal block, and then you get ability block, so the tank can't even taunt if you get this ability block going. That's if you're lucky. It's only a 30% chance though. And then on his basic, he has a 90% chance to apply slow. So, you know, I like this kit. If he had a little more damage, I think he would be rated really, really high. But this is a solid kit right here. I like Karath. Let's move on to the next guy. Who did he get rated over? Coming in at number 4, Winter Soldier. Losing track of my numbers here. But Winter Soldier, he has some good damage. Really solid damage. He has some decent health. He's not real fast though, so that's the trade-off. He's a little slower than Karath. His kit is kind of boring. Let me close out Karath, get Winter Soldier up here. He's doing some big damage though. Very similar to Karath's 3rd skill. Big damage and heal block. Doesn't have that 30% chance to ability block, but he's got a lot more raw damage in his basic kit, and then with this 440% extra damage, he's doing a big hit with this. Bleed, I haven't seen that really affect me. This is not that impressive a skill, but it's this big one right here that really does it for me. He's doing a lot of damage anyway because his base damage is pretty high, and then this one's doing some big damage with his basic attack. So Winter Soldier, solid character. Let's move on to the rest of the list. And who's coming in? Let's see. We got 3 left. And number 3 is this guy right here, Thor. Now he has a lot of health. Second most health out of all the blaster categories. Like I said before, health is not super important, but he has a lot of it. He has a lot of damage as well. Not one of the top damage dealers. His big weakness is that he is slow. He's really slow. If you put him in the right team, though, you can get someone like Black Widow to counter that. He has his AoE. Let's go look at his kit. This thing right here. Attack all enemies for 200% damage. Now that is higher than some of the single target attacks that some of these guys do. It's not huge, but 200% damage of already big damage is pretty good. And he's got this chance to apply stun to all additional targets, and he's going to stun that primary target as well. So make sure you know, even if you're doing an AoE, watch their skills to make sure you're targeting the right person that you want to attack. He's got a chain damage up here. He's got a primary damage, and then he gains extra damage with his passive, 10% extra damage. And then there's no other Asgardians in it. I know Loki's kit is in the game. He's not a playable character. I don't think he's even a non-playable character yet, but for each additional Asgardian ally, so I'm assuming they're going to release more of these guys in the future, he gets 5% extra damage. So he's just a big damage dealer. Fits into a Avengers team, really solid. I'm not really using him too much in raids, not really using him too much in arena. Just don't really have a place for him, but I'm farming him, I'm ranking him because I like him as a character. Just he's, you know, doesn't have a pure role. He's just a damage dealer, but he's kind of slow. That's why he's rated number 3. Let's go back to the list. There's 2 left. Rocket, number 2 on the list. He's a solid character. He has the most damage out of all the blast categories, and I'm going to guess his base damage is near the top of everyone in the whole game. I haven't looked at everybody yet, but as far as the blast category, he is the top damage dealer with this. He's a little squishy, doesn't have a lot of health. His speed is decent. It's over 100 at his speed, so he's pretty decent. Let's go take a look further at his kit. This is a big attack. I know it only says 260%, but it is big. It attacks all the enemies and gets counter. Gets a little more if you have Groot in the team, which is not possible yet because Groot isn't released, but he will be. He's in the game. Alright, this kit is pretty interesting too. On turn, 30% chance to apply a positive effect to 1 to 2 allies. Tech allies gain 5% damage, so he's buffing the rest of the team. He's getting primary target, and he has a 50% chance to assist. Groot is your ally. He gets an assist from Groot, and Groot's getting a taunt, so you're kind of using Groot as a tank there. Decent. You know, he has a base attack 140% to the primary, and then adjacent for 100%, and then a little extra crit chance. Solid character. The big thing is this AoE attack. This thing just wrecks stuff because his base damage is high, and then he's getting a little higher here. So, Rocket, I give him a thumbs up, which leaves 1 character left. I don't have him. He was only available for 1 week in the beta, and that was before I started playing. And this is Iron Man. Really solid character. He has he's tied for the second highest damage with the Punisher in the whole blaster category. His health is decent enough. It's not huge. He's not a tank. He's a damage dealer, but his health is decent compared to some of the other blasters. His speed is decent compared to some of the other blasters. It's over 100, so it's above average, his speed. Let's look at his kit. Now, his kit is decent. It's not too exciting, but this Unibeam is a huge single target damage dealer. Let's go up to level 7, 600% damage. And he's got huge base damage. That's huge. That's a huge attack. He's got extra crit chance to tech allies, so similar to Rocket where you're going to benefit crit allies. and then extra crit chance to all allies. That's at level 3. At level 5, 15% extra crit chance, 10% to all extra crit to all allies. Solid, solid. He has an AoE as well. So tanks, you got a threat that's almost dead, and then a tank taunt. You could kill them with this. If Captain America's your ally, it goes up a little more, and probably not going to be running Iron Man without Captain America, because those are two really good characters. And then he's got a basic that has a chance to chain 2 additional targets. So his kit is good. He has some good base damage. Now the way to unlock him is with 5. Well, at least during the beta, the way to unlock him is with 5 5-star S.H.I.E.L.D. characters. So if you're doing that, I wouldn't use S.H.I.E.L.D. Assault or S.H.I.E.L.D. Trooper. I would use some of the other guys there. And that is my list. Let me know what you think. These lists are always good for debate because everybody has their own opinions. These are my opinions, and it's probably different from a lot of other people's. Maybe not too different, especially with the top few characters. But the top 3 are pretty solid. Big damage dealing characters, and that is it. So stay tuned next time. My next countdown, I'm going to be working on brawlers. My next video, I'm probably going to be doing some kind of playthrough again. But that is it. Any suggestions? I appreciate all the suggestions you guys have been making. Appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the subscriptions. If you haven't subscribed already and you like this video, subscribe to the channel because I got more like this. And if you like this video, hit the like button down below. And I will see you next time. Valley Flying out.